Hi, we're in the kitchen with Mrs. KN, and today we're making kale chips. They're delicious, they are nutritious, and they're a lot easier than you might think. So let's get started. Last week when I was at the farmer's market, I bought a bunch of kale, but you can get it at the grocery store, and I'll be doing that soon too, since it won't be available at the farmer's market soon. I've washed my kale, I put it on this plate, and you will notice that on all kale there's this big thick spine, this big thick stem that is not good to eat. So rather than getting a knife out and trying to cut the stem off, I have a much easier way. Are you ready?
No.
Boom! That was easy. And I'm just going to keep doing that with all of my kale leaves. That. Another one. And yet another one. This is really actually kind of fun. Who needs a knife to chop when you can just pull them right off? And the next one. We're getting down on the plate here. That is a big, thick spine, and voila, we've taken care of that. And last one. All right, that took me less than a minute, I think. Put these aside, and now I'm going to put this aside for the moment. I might make these just a little bit smaller if I want to. These are some big kale leaves. Make sure they're spread out, and they're on my baking sheet. Ready to go. I've got a tablespoon. You can use healthy oils such as olive oil, or I also like to use avocado oil, but I'm going to stick with my healthy fat of olive oil. I'm going to fill up my tablespoon, and I'm going to drizzle that. That's my heaping tablespoon. I'm going to drizzle that over my kale chips as evenly as I can. But one more little trick that I like to do with my kale chips, in case it isn't perfectly even, is just to match that oil around to spread them out over your chips. All right, and our family likes a little bit of salt on them. You don't have to have salt, but I think they're a little tastier with a little salt. I'm gonna wipe my hands off. Our salt of choice at our house is Himalayan pink salt. I like it because it has more minerals in it than table salt, but you can use any kind of salt you want. So a little bit of salt over the top, evenly spread out. And ready for the oven. I'm going to bake these at 350. The oven is preheated right now for about 15 minutes. And I'll take them out, and if they're not crispy enough, I might put them in for a few more minutes. But that is it. Kale chip making with Mrs. KN. And after baking in the oven, here are my kale chips. And now it's just time to enjoy.